Hi, Cal. So today we're going to be doing an in-depth interview. We'll be talking about specifically three of the most important areas in your life. Just to go a little bit more in depth, even though I already know you pretty well, we're just going to get a little bit deeper and find out some more about you. So we'll start with you telling me just a little bit about your background, where you came from, where you were born and raised, and that kind of thing.
I'm from San Angelo, Texas. I was born and raised there with um, my two little brothers and little sister. Um, San Angelo is a semi small town, not small town, but semi. At least compared to Lubbock. Um, I went to San Angelo Central High School. Uh, I uh, San Angelo was let's see, it wasn't San Angelo did not have a whole lot of things to do, I guess. Uh, as you got older. But um, San Angelo definitely back then was a place where, as a kid, um, you could build a whole lot of whole lot of memories.
So tell me about high school.
Um, High school. Well, there's two high schools in San Angelo Central and Lakeview.
Your
San,
high school experience at Central?
I did gymnastics for 2 years, and I played golf for 3 years. I quit gymnastics to play golf. I had done gymnastics since I was 3 until I was about 15, and then I decided to do something else. Uh, I uh, made not a lot of, just a few uh, good childhood friends in high school. So, um, yeah, and after high school, I went on to play collegiate golf uh, for 2 years at West Texas A&M, and then after that, I decided to not play golf anymore and come to tech.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your parents? Kind of what they do and a little bit about their background?
My parents are divorced. My mom is from Amarillo, not too far from Lubbock, and then my dad was from San Angelo. My dad's the high school gymnastics coach at Central, and then my mom is a teacher in San Antonio. So they divorced when I was 12, and then I was pretty much raised by my mom. So there's a tight relationship there.
Mm-hmm. So, what about your relationship with your dad?
My dad and I have more of a like player coach relationship, I guess. At least that's how it's been since I was very little. So
Is that changing or?
we're not super tight, but yeah, as I've gotten older, it's changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And so, back to you and your mom. How has y'all's close relationship impacted who you are today and also just other relationships that you've had or have currently?
Um, my mom's, Mine and my mom's relationship is really close. Uh, Being the first, um, I guess that she was a little more hard on me, a little more like tentative with me. Um, uh, she had the opportunity to raise me more the way that she wanted to. I guess because it was only her, really. Um, uh, I got in trouble a lot for little things, so I feel like that has had an impact on me because now those little things, I think about those little things whenever I uh, am around other people or trying to help someone else or someone else needs my help or just dealing with other situations. So I feel like mine and her impact on me has been a very positive impact when it comes to life situations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And so, how has that relationship affected other close relationships, whether that be with siblings or friends or anything like that?
A lot of my close relationships with my friends are, I mean, a lot of my friends and I were real. Um, I don't know how to explain it. Like brother, sister like relationships because uh, my mom was one that wasn't. I knew what was bad and what wasn't bad, so I made friends that didn't necessarily do anything bad.
They kind of lined up with your
Yeah.
standards and her standards for you.
Yeah. So, and my friends my friends were always over. My mom was even friends with my friends, so that's my friends were friends with my mom. So that's kind of how that went.
Okay, and so jumping to kind of a little bit different subject, when did you decide that you wanted to come to Texas Tech?
I decided to come to Texas Tech when golf wasn't fun for me anymore. Playing a sport past the high school level is whenever you can't become more of an elite type of athlete. So it becomes more of a job, and some people like that, and some people it may never feel like a job. But I felt like golf was really time consuming to where I couldn't do anything else. I got to travel a lot, but sometimes that traveling made me miss out on other things, and practicing too. So I never got to really do everything that I wanted to do in those first 2 years of college because I had a schedule not made by myself. So, and then leaving there because my grandparents lived there, so that was kind of hard.
Lived where?
They lived in Amarillo, which is about 10 minutes from Canyon, which is where West Texas A&M is. But, so yeah, that was probably the hardest part of leaving that school and coming to Tech. But
So first you decided to quit golf, but why did you decide to come to Texas Tech?
I decided to come to Texas Tech because that's where pretty much everyone on my mom's side of the family has gone. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of one of those things that while you're growing up, like this is.
Did they want you to go here, or did you actually want to come?
I actually wanted to come. I mean, they would love that I decided to come here, but it was one of those things when you're growing up, it's just Texas Tech everything. So that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. So we'll come back to talk about Texas Tech a little bit later on. We're kind of going to jump to a different subject right now. So I know that you're really into weightlifting now, but it started off with CrossFit. So when did you begin CrossFit / weightlifting?
I began CrossFit in June of 2014. I started CrossFit because my stepdad told me that you would probably like this because I've always had an interest um, in exercise, and CrossFit was one of those new deals that everyone was starting to talk about. So I tried it. I liked it. I never got to the. I mean, I wasn't competitive with it, but uh, it was something that kind of kept that athletic, that athlete, competitive spirit going. So,
So you did that for how long?
I did that for about 10 months, and then I got into weightlifting. Once I moved here, one of my friends, one of my friends got me into it, and it kind of turned into one of those things where like I felt like an actual athlete again, and that's one of those things that I've never gone without feeling like an athlete because I've always been an athlete. So that was one of those things that I had to keep my work ethic, and it gave me something else to strive for, I guess, and it just turned into something that I really enjoyed. So,
But why did you have to quit CrossFit to do that?
there's this thing where CrossFit is centered not. It's not centered around anything specific. It's a mixture of. It's a mixture of a whole different sports like gymnastics, weightlifting, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's just like everyday life, pretty much functional.
But did you just like choose between the two? You just decided you like.
Yeah, because CrossFit kind of acts weightlifting if you want to be really good at it.
Really good at weightlifting.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, so you would say your stepdad kind of sparked your interest for that?
Yeah. So I mean, I would give him some credit for sparking my interest in weightlifting because weightlifting is a part of CrossFit. So I did some here and there, but
you really got into it
about May, so about a year ago, May of last year. So it's something that I don't have to spend every day doing it. And the days I do it, it's only about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's nothing ever gets old. So, and I feel like I'm not doing it because I have to do it.
So how are you going to keep weightlifting from turning into kind of the golf situation? Where you got tired of it because it felt like a job.
I feel that that weightlifting is a bit different than the golf situation because I have other stuff going on. So when I started golf, it was something that I did 6 hours a day every day. So that's kind of, I mean.
You just got burnt out.
Yeah. I got burnt out. Golf was one of those sports that if you want to be good at it, then you gotta work at it that many hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with weightlifting, it's more of, I mean, it's a sport. It's an Olympic sport, so I think that's really cool. And anybody can do it, and you don't have to be a specific weightlifter to do it. It's another form of fitness. So, anyways, yeah.
So what are your plans for weightlifting? Does that impact your future
I have
goals?
goals for weightlifting. I mean, I want to be a coach. That's ultimately what I want to do, but I never want to stop training just because it's something that, I mean, physically I feel really good. So that's
So what are your goals?
this year. My goals are to get my coaching cert, which is your USAW, so you can open up your own barbell club. You can it could be the start to me doing what I want to do.
Well, what do you want to
Strength
do?
and conditioning wise.
And what do you want to do?
I'm gonna want to open up my own sport performance facility. I have Olympic weightlifting. I have other stuff too, but I just want to incorporate a bunch of strength work for athletes or kids or older adults who don't want to. I mean, the CrossFit stuff is. I mean, it's gonna die down eventually, and it'll go back to the old school stuff. So.
So, is this what you always have wanted to do, or is this a recent plan?
I didn't know what I wanted to do until about 2 years ago. So
does your major coincide with this? Like, is that going to help you
yeah,
reach your goal?
Yeah.
Also,
I'm a kinesiology major, so that's pretty much all we learn is about athletes and the physiological aspects of the body when it comes to exercise. So that's gonna help me out a whole lot, and I mean, based off like graduate school and whatnot, haven't decided on that yet, but that would help too.
and so your ideal goal or achievement in the future would be to open this facility.
Yes.
What else can you do if that's not something that immediately happens? Whether it be something you do with weightlifting or something you do with your degree that you'll be receiving?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
Yeah, like if, let's say you don't, as soon as you graduate, don't immediately open this facility,
Oh.
what are some other things you can do with your degree or your weightlifting certification?
I mean, I'm going to work towards building that facility.
Mhm.
So,
And in the meantime?
in the meantime, I mean, I'll keep coaching. I coach gymnastics right now, so I'll keep doing that. If I get certified, I'll do weightlifting stuff on the side and just build. Because, I mean, I can't build it right after I graduate, so.
So do you have a career plan?
I mean, that's what I want my career to be. With kinesiology, you have a very broad choice,
There's a lot you can do.
career choice based off of, I mean, if you don't go to graduate school or if you don't go to PT or OT school or stuff like that. So, but there's really nothing else I want to do, at least right now.
Do you have plans? I know you talked about your career plans with weightlifting, but do you have plans for yourself with weightlifting? Any goals that you would like to reach involving all of that?
I mean, eventually I want to be a top tier weightlifter, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, I mean, I have goals. I have yearly goals, so that's
what you're working on.
Yeah.
So, do you think that coming to Texas Tech has helped put you on the track to achieve your individual and career weightlifting?
Yeah.
How's
I've met a bunch of people. If I wouldn't have came to Tech, I wouldn't be doing this anyway. So, but recently I've met a bunch of people, as far as like my professors and stuff like that, who are knowledgeable about what I'm learning about and what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, banking stuff off of them and learning has really helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I know that here in Lubbock you work out at just a local gym, run through your church, but who coaches you, who teaches you about this weightlifting stuff? Do you teach yourself or?
One of my buddies that I lived with, I mean, we teach each other. We know stuff. So I watch a lot of videos. I learn that way. I read a bunch of articles. I I have a coach, but he lives in Amarillo, so it's kind of hard to get that everyday coaching from him. So that's difficult. But one of my professors has his coaching certification, so he has a good eye for stuff. So that's been going on the past couple weeks.
So when you can't see your coach or your professor, you just coach yourself, or
Yeah, I'll
yourself to do it?
yeah, I'll take videos of myself and then I'll critique it. So
And that helps you improve.
yeah, it's a little harder, but eventually it'll be nice to have a coach you can just watch.
When will you, or will you ever have a coach? You
Uh,
can see all the time.
I mean, I feel like I have some people that know their stuff. So
That are around you.
yeah. So I mean, weightlifting's hard to really find somebody that's like, yeah, they know what they're doing. So
Okay, so now we kind of are moving on to another different subject, but continuing talking about Texas Tech. Sorry.
do you wanna
It's okay.
Just pause for a little bit?
1 second. Sorry about that. I wanted to sit outside because it feels good, but there's more variables to work with. So we'll continue. So I was gonna jump into another subject, but your fiance also goes to Texas Tech. Can you tell me about her? Y'all's story?
my fiance, she I wouldn't call it. A lot of people, when I tell them the story, they think that it's high school sweethearts, but that's not it. It's not it. But as much as I would like for it to be, that's not it. But anyways, I've known who she was for a long time, probably since I was about 9 or 10 years old. But we went to high school together. I'm 2 grades older than her, so that kind of made things difficult in high school. But we met in high school, really met in high school. I went off to college. We'd always keep in touch when I was in college, and I'd come back home. So we kept in touch that way, and then eventually it just got to the point where we decided to actually give it a go and date long distance for about 8 months, which was pretty tough.
Long distance because you were at WT.
Yeah. And she was getting ready to go to school, like decide on a college to go to. So that was, that could have made or break it. But she decided to go to Tech, and I was going there, so it ended up working out perfectly. And then, we dated for 2 years, and I asked her to marry me in January.
Okay. So when did you know that she was the only one to marry?
I knew. Oh man. I really started to feel that way after our first semester here at Tech. So we'd been dating for about a year, and then that's when I really started to feel that way. So it felt kind of weird because we were so young, but I guess that's when you know.
So speaking of being young, has that negatively affected y'all's relationship or made it a little bit harder? Just y'all's plans and stuff.
I don't think I don't think anything's gotten harder. I mean, the only thing is you're just gonna have to grow up a little faster when it comes to finances and stuff like that. But other than that, no,
The age hasn't affected.
no.
And so, what kind of expectations do you have for marriage and stuff like that?
I've never thought about that. I mean, honestly, we don't. I don't know. Um,
I mean, how will it be different? What do you expect it to be like?
I mean, the, I mean, living with someone else and adapting to their everyday way of living will be different, but I don't think that's gonna. I mean, that's just, well, no, that's just part of it. So, but I don't have any expectations. But, like,
Well, how do you think life will be different?
I mean, you're gonna be. I don't know. It's just it's a joint. It's a joint way to. I mean, you're living with someone else, so your life's different. It's
A good different?
a good different.
So you're getting married in August. What has the engagement season been
I don't really. I mean, I enjoy it being the dude because I don't have to do anything really besides take care of my parts. So, I mean, I haven't really stressed at all, but I know she has. So, but
like? So that hasn't stressed you out?
no, it hasn't. Because I know that she will get everything done that she wants done, and exactly, but pretty close to how she wants it. So,
So, kind of tying in weightlifting and a new married life, what are your plans? Does that affect your weightlifting plans, having a wife?
I don't think so. My weightlifting plans that's something I control. So that's all of me. If I have my goals, and I mean, she supports me in those goals. So when it comes to training or competing or stuff like that, that's just.
It kind of makes you have to think about it more practically, though. Would you say? Would you agree with that?
I guess. I mean, when it comes to doing something that I just feel like whenever, I mean, practically, yeah, like you'll have to think about that kind of stuff, but
Because now it's like two lives you're considering, taking into consideration.
Yeah.
It's not just one. So.
But it'll be. I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to have to sacrifice. I mean, it doesn't affect anything now, and it shouldn't later.
So now I'd like us to talk just a little bit about your relationship with the Lord. You are a Christian. So can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Him, like when you were a child and kind of growing up?
I grew up in church until I was about 13. So, I went to all kinds of churches. I went to Methodist churches, Baptist churches. So, yeah. I grew up in and out of church after 13. So, growing up in church when I was little,